What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to Cowboys News TV, your go-to spot for all things Dallas Cowboys. I'm Dave, and today we're diving deep into the Cowboys' defensive collapse against the New Orleans Saints in their home opener. We're talking about how Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara absolutely shredded our defense, scoring on their first 6 possessions. Yes, you heard that right, 6 straight possessions. But before we get into the breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers, and we'd love for you to be part of the Cowboys Nation family. Your support means everything, so help us hit that milestone. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what went wrong on the field. It's hard to ignore how similar this game felt to the disastrous playoff loss in January. The Saints' offense, led by Carr and Kamara, made it look easy as they ran up and down the field. Alvin Kamara, in particular, was a nightmare for the Cowboys' defense, putting up 4 touchdowns, 3 on the ground and 1 through the air. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Rashid Shaheed added a 70-yard touchdown that left our secondary in the dust. Cowboys Nation, what's your level of concern after this performance? Is this just a blip on the radar, or are there deeper issues in our defense that need fixing? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and while you're at it, vote in our community poll. How should the Cowboys address these defensive issues? Your feedback always fuels our discussions, and we want to hear what you think. Eric Kendricks, one of our defensive leaders, was candid after the game. He called the performance humbling and admitted that the defense couldn't stop the big plays. "We all played a part in it," he said. And he's right. The Saints went 5-for-5 on 3rd down at one point, and Kamara made us look like a JV squad. Kendricks also emphasized the need for the defense to come out stronger and faster, pointing out how quickly the Saints had us on our heels. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Are you more concerned about our defense's slow start, or is it the lack of adjustments that worries you? Let us know in the comments. Micah Parsons, who's never one to mince words, had a similar take but added that it wasn't a scheme issue. He believes Mike Zimmer, called a good game. In his words, "It came down to execution, we just got outplayed." Not everyone on that field gave 100%. He pointed out that the Cowboys need to get back to the fundamentals, tackling, using their hands, and being more aggressive. That's a strong message from one of our defensive captains, and it's clear that Parsons is holding everyone accountable, including himself. But here's a question for you, Cowboys Nation. Do you think it's just execution, or could there be a bigger issue with the defensive scheme? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to share your thoughts in our community poll. We saw Alvin Kamara expose our defense on simple handoffs and short passes, but the bigger issue seemed to be our lack of tackling. Parsons said it himself, the Cowboys were arm tackling and trying to pull guys down instead of attacking aggressively. That's a recipe for disaster, especially when you're facing a guy like Kamara, who's known for breaking tackles and extending plays. The Saints racked up 432 yards of offense and 44 points, which isn't far off from the 48 points the Packers dropped on us in January. Parsons talked about needing to create more penetration and doing a better job at the line of scrimmage. He's right, if we don't fix these issues, teams will continue to run all over us. With Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens coming up next, the Cowboys have to get back to basics, fast. Jackson is in desperation mode after an 0-2 start, and he's not going to take it easy on our defense. Now, Cowboys Nation, here's a question for you. How do you think the Cowboys should prepare for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens? Should we focus on stopping the run, or is it our secondary that needs the most help? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation started. One thing's for sure, the Cowboys' defense has a lot to figure out before the next game. As Kendricks mentioned, this loss should sting, and the team needs to use it as motivation moving forward. The NFL is all about how you bounce back from adversity, and this is a major test for the Cowboys, especially on defense. Micah Parsons emphasized the importance of not shying away from the challenge. This is adversity. We need to get better. Don't shy from it, he said. And that's exactly the mindset we need going into the game against Baltimore. The Cowboys aced their test against Deshaun Watson and the Browns, but they flunked against Carr and the Saints. Another exam is coming up next week, and it's going to take a complete team effort to pass this one. So what do you think, Cowboys Nation? Can the Cowboys defense step up and turn things around next week? Do you believe they have what it takes to shut down Lamar Jackson? Let us know in the comments. And while you're at it, vote in our poll. Which area of the defense needs the most improvement? The pass rush, the secondary, or tackling? We value your input, and it's always great to see what the community thinks. The defense will need to regroup and refocus before they face off against the Ravens. The film room is going to be crucial this week as they break down what went wrong against the Saints and find ways to correct it. If the Cowboys want to get back on track, they need to fix their tackling issues, create more pressure up front, and, most importantly, play with a sense of urgency from the opening kickoff. As the Cowboys prepare for the Ravens, one thing is clear: this defense can't afford to have another performance like they did against the Saints. The Ravens, led by Lamar Jackson, are not just a running threat, they can beat you in the air too. Jackson's dual threat capability means the Cowboys' defense will need to be on high alert for both the run and the pass. Let's not forget how dangerous Jackson can be in the open field. He's not just fast, his vision and ability to make defenders miss make him one of the hardest quarterbacks to defend. If the Cowboys struggle with arm tackling again, Jackson will exploit that weakness in a heartbeat. Parsons mentioned the need to get back to fundamentals, and this is the perfect test for that. Can the Cowboys' defense maintain gap integrity, wrap up when tackling, and keep Jackson contained? And here's where things get tricky, Cowboys Nation. The Ravens have a dangerous rushing attack, not just with Jackson but also with their running backs like Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. That means our defensive line and linebackers will need to be sharp, aggressive, and disciplined. We can't allow their offensive line to push us around the way the Saints did. This is a game where the Cowboys' front seven has to be dominant, or we could be in for another long afternoon. Now, Cowboys Nation, I want to hear from you. What's your confidence level in the defense heading into this game against Baltimore? Do you think we can bounce back, or are you worried that these issues run deeper than just one bad game? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to vote in our poll. Is the defensive front the biggest area of concern, or are you more worried about the secondary after giving up that huge touchdown to Shaheed? While we're on the topic of the secondary, it's worth noting that Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore are going to need to bring their A-game against the Ravens receivers. Zay Flowers is already emerging as a key weapon in their offense, and let's not forget about tight end Mark Andrews, one of Jackson's favorite targets. This is going to be a real test for our corners and safeties, and communication will be key. Diggs, who had a solid Week 1 performance, needs to step up even more now. We saw flashes of his ball-hawking skills in the opener, but we're going to need a turnover or two to help swing the momentum in our favor against a team like Baltimore. Gilmore's veteran leadership will also be crucial, especially when it comes to keeping everyone aligned in the secondary. Here's another question for you, Cowboys Nation. Who do you think will be the X factor on defense against the Ravens? Will it be Parsons leading the charge up front? Diggs locking down their top receiver? Or someone else who needs to rise to the occasion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. As we get closer to game day, keep an eye on the injury report. The Cowboys have been banged up a bit, and we're hoping to get everyone healthy and ready to go. This is going to be a pivotal game early in the season, and a win here would go a long way in proving that the Cowboys are legitimate contenders in 2024. Before we wrap things up, I want to remind you all to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We're closing in on 11,000 subscribers, and we'd love for you to join the Cowboys News TV family. We've got plenty of exciting content coming your way, including game previews, breakdowns, and more. Thanks for watching, Cowboys Nation. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments, and as always, stay tuned for more Cowboys content right here on Cowboys News TV. See you in the next video.